Okay, so we're going to continue with laws of exponents, like we're dividing them and stuff. But today we're just going to, or this week we're going to have like more than one variable hanging out, which makes things just a little more complex, but not that serious. So here's hoping my computer loads. Good. I always freeze right before it actually loads. Okay. So we have x's and y's. Just like combining like terms, like we can't combine them together. So what we're going to do, like first of all, you just look at your coefficients, right? There's the 4 and the 3. They don't simplify. They just come on over. So 4 and 3. All right. But now, switch colors a little bit. We're going to focus specifically on our x terms. So we have x to the second over x to the third. Now remember, when they're being divided, you just subtract them. And your end result ends up wherever the original was higher. So what I mean by that is I'm looking at x to the second and x to the third. X to the 3 is bigger, so whatever we do get after we subtract, it's going to end up in the denominator. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So our x to the 1 kind of ends up in the bottom. And then sort of switching colors again, this y to the 4, it's by itself. It's got nothing going on, y to the 4. So your final answer is that, but I'm going to clean it up a little bit. It would be 4y to the 4th over 3x. So that's a 4. So 4y to the 4th over 3x. Okay, so for this one, first we look at our coefficients. 2 and 4, 2/4. That's the same as 1/2, isn't it? You can simplify 2/4 and 1/2. So 1 over 2. Okay. And now we're done with that. Now we're going to focus on our m values. So you can think about it, 4 minus 4 is 0, meaning there's exactly 0 m's, or you just kind of think about it like, hey, these cancel off. Cool. So we're done with all that. Now we need to focus this n to the 1. Okay, we don't have to divide it with anything or anything like else. But what we do have to do is it's a negative exponent, which is not okay. So we need to bring it to the numerator and make it positive. N to the 1. And since we kind of don't write ones, that is what our final answer would look like. All right, so here's another one. Let's focus on our 4s. Well, 4 over 4 is just 1. So we don't really write ones, but also the 4s just kind of cancel out. Okay, so I'm just going to I've got a lot of negatives, a lot of weird stuff going on. I'm going to reorganize where everything goes. So I've got this n here on top. N to the 1. Okay, so I dealt with that. N to the 0 means there's exactly 0 n's. It's just there to be silly. Now, both of these m's are in bad places, right? This guy's got to come up and become positive. This guy's got to come down and become positive. So I'm going to put m to the 3rd up top, right? And then m to the 4th on the bottom. But then further, I have to actually divide these guys. So I'm just going to rewrite the n. And now I'm looking at my m terms. Okay, I know 4 is bigger than 3, so my end result's going to end up in the bottom. 4 minus 3 is 1. So I'm going to get m to the 1. So really, after I clean it up a little bit, my final answer is n over m. All right, so here's another one. Exactly 0 x's. Okay. This has got to come down. So my 3y is cool where it is. I'm actually going to say 3y to the 1st. And then my y to the 2nd kind of gets pushed over, right? And you can't just have no numerator. So 1 over 3. And then remember, when you're multiplying, right, y to the first times y to the second, when you're multiplying them, you just have to add the exponents to get your new one. So, and that would be your final answer.